Happy Thursday morning to you all. It's 8:09 in the morning and it's hot out here. Oh my god. Yesterday was brutal. I tore the trampoline down last night, clearing the backyard out for the electricians so they can come trench up my yard, make a bigger mess than I have. Friday we finally got a chance of rain, so hey, maybe tomorrow we get rain. Anyway, yeah, feels like 98. Yes it does. And let's see what the humidity is. 86%. Welcome to the Houston sauna. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna head out to the Memorial Park area, go over to my buddy's place. We're gonna meet up and go together to the far side of downtown. I was just gonna ride straight out there, but he said, nah, just come here and we'll go to breakfast and then go to work. Okay. Twist my arm. All right, sure, no problem. I won't argue. I'm arguing with this glove though. Sticky, everything's wet, you know, humid, can't get it on. Ugh. Anyway, what else is going on in the world and life in general? Getting the house back together, that feels good. Get things cleaned up because it's been a mess for a while since the hurricane and the power outage, and we rearranged our entire living situation, moved upstairs to downstairs and vice versa, and trying to survive in the heat while that was going on. But now we've got air conditioning back, so life is returning to normal. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with that empty spot behind the house now where the trampoline has been all this time. It was a big trampoline, 15-foot round, and there's a lot of space back there. It's just an empty little quad. It measures out to what is it, 19.5 feet by as deep as I want to go into the backyard. So from the patio slab over to the fence is 19.5 feet. So that means I've got about 16 feet of width that I can work with and still give myself an easement near the fence. And I'm thinking about putting in a shed slash tiny house, office, guest house. Yeah, it's just a shed though, because if you use it as a dwelling or a domicile, then that goes against deed restrictions and covenants and all that. So it's just it's a shed. It's an electrified man cave. Yeah, don't even bother looking, man. Just stick that right out there. Air condition it, you know, kind of make it livable and usable, workable. What are you doing, man? You were in such a hurry to pull out of the street and not pay attention, and now you're just gonna park here and pick your nose. I see you picking your nose. Don't pick your nose, man. Come on, get a hanky. Save that thing for later. Put it in your pocket. Admire it. Yeah, I'm going. Buddy, it's hot. The rain tomorrow might be a bonus. Might be a little bit of a break from this heat wave that we've had for the last several weeks. But then again, you know, it'll just bring all that humidity down and it'll evaporate up from the ground and make things even stickier if we don't have some kind of a drying effect right after the rain. If it just stays, you know, sweltery and high humidity, then yeah, it's not going to be better. I am waiting for fall. I haven't been able to get out in the garage and do much more work on the Mazda. I did rearrange some things and make my workspace a little bit more conducive to work, but it's just been so hot out there. Every day it's 109 or 110 degrees in the garage, and I just can't deal with that. It's too hot to work in. I've got a big air circulator fan and a couple of the smaller Lasco centrifugal blowers, and that helps move air around, but it's just a convection oven, you know. All you're doing is blowing hot air around in a circle and evenly baking yourself. It's pretty rough. I almost went out there last night after about 10 o'clock. The temperature finally dropped to 95, and I thought, well, okay, 95 is doable, but I was beat from being out in the sun, tearing the trampoline down and all that stuff around 7 o'clock. It was still, you know, 106 degrees out there on the yard and the pavement and everything. You know, it's just too much. I need to get that done. Hopefully that'll be a this weekend thing. I want to get that car rolling again, get it sorted out, at least drivable. Rear brakes and the coolant stuff I should be able to sort pretty quickly. You know, that's two relatively small jobs, just a lot of disassembly involved. Then I'll go back and revisit the suspension issue on the front left and the drive shaft on the left side, the driver's side, later. But it's bad. It needs redone, something fierce. It's horrible. It feels like you're driving around with toothpicks connecting that axle, because every time you get on and off, it flexes and everything shifts around and clicks and pops, and yeah, it's gonna blow. It's just a matter of time. One hard acceleration or one tight left turn on the throttle, and I think it's gonna go bye-bye. And with front-wheel drive cars, when that happens, you're stuck, you're screwed, because most of them don't have limited slip differentials. It's just an open diff internally, so when one drive shaft goes, you're not moving anymore, because the side that still has a good drive shaft and torque, you know, against the wheel, it's just going to make the opposite broken axle shaft spin. So yeah, you're stuck. You're not going anywhere. That's how you merge, kids. No brake lights. Nobody had to slow down for me. Just roll. Blend in. I was pricing out little sheds, you know, backyard sheds. Nice ones, not just, you know, a crappy little tin shed or, you know, those thin steel skin things, but a wooden shed, something that looks a little bit more presentable, you know. It looks like I could get something about the size that I want for around $3,000 rough price, you know, and of course that's not including floor or a foundation. If I were to pour a was it like a 12 by 16 foundation, it'd be a couple $1,000. The shed itself comes unfinished, but most of the lumber, you know, all the hardware is there. You know, it comes in a couple of pallets, and people are saying they take about roughly 30 hours worth of assembly. So, you know, several days, 5-6 hours a day, you get it done. I've done rough construction and stuff. I can do most of that, but I've never done any concrete slab work or any of that. I've always farmed that out. So if I did it, I would definitely farm that out. Then the internal structure is just open and rough, so you'd have to do a little bit more framing inside, insulating, you know, house wrap the outside of it before you put the sheathing on and all that, and then insulate and drywall and, you know, make it semi-presentable and, you know, able to keep the humidity and the moisture down, and insulated for heat and air conditioning and all that. So it'd be nice for a little backyard office, bungalow, guest house, whatever you want to call it. That'd be pretty cool. We have, you know, 4-bedroom house, but the 3 kids' rooms are very small rooms. They're, you know, maybe 10 by 10, 10 by 12. They're pretty small rooms. The master bedroom is huge by comparison. It's 14 by 19, something like that, so it's a pretty good sized room. Really wasted space in my opinion, because we don't need all that in the Master. But yeah, anywho, so whenever we have guests or relatives come over, there's nowhere for them to stay except for downstairs in the theater room on the sofa or something like that. Or in my sister's case, I used to bring the RV home, the trailer, park it in the driveway, and that was her little apartment for a couple of weeks while she visited. But our HOA are a bunch of Nazis. They just absolutely pitch a fit about anything being out of place. You know, they don't mind people parking their cars all over the roads and creating traffic hazards for bicyclists and pedestrians and kids going to and fro, but you can't have an RV poked it, or, you know, parked in your driveway, or a boat or anything like that. You can't have any of that visible. It's got to be either in your backyard, in your garage, or somewhere else. So yeah, I've gotten more than my fair share of nasty letters for the trailer when I would bring it home around Thanksgiving, and it would just be there for a week, you know, maybe 8 days, something like that. And oh man, they're just up in arms. You can't have this here. But everybody else in the neighborhood's doing it too, so it's not like I'm the one redneck asshole. So anyway, having a little backyard converted shed might be nice, to have a spare room and a place to work, and my wife could use that as her she shed, you know, for all of her crafts and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. I used Google Earth maps, you know, to peer into everyone's backyards around my neighborhood, looking at the you know, aerial view. You can drill down pretty far. You can see good resolution down to, like, you know, patio chairs and that kind of thing. So I was looking to see if anyone else in the neighborhood had sheds in their backyards, and there's not very many, but there are a few, and they're all really far back behind the house or behind the detached garages, so they're not visible from the street. I'm sure that's by design, so they don't get hassled. So this one, if I put it over there on the back corner of the house, it would be visible from the other driveway adjacent to us, but not really visible from the street. So I don't know. I'll have to read through the covenants and deed restrictions and all that and see if it would fly under the radar. I think I could do the whole project for about $8,000 bucks. I don't have $8,000 bucks to burn right now, but I think it could be done for that. So the shell, $3,000, a couple thousand for the slab, we're at $5,000, and then another $3,000 to finish out the inside and the electrical insulation, stuff like that. Now, of course, that's not furnished or anything else, but that would be the shell, insulated, electric, ready to go. And conveniently, my electric panel is right there on that corner of the house, so I could just put a small 50 amp sub panel or something like that. Wouldn't need near that much power, but I'd probably run the whole thing off of a 20 amp GFCI, but yeah. That guy does not know how to just coast. He's on the gas, on the brake, on the gas, on the brake, on the gas, on the brake, on the gas, on the brake. Coast, you bastard. All you're doing is causing a ripple behind you, and then nobody knows when you're really stopping. As long as you're moving out here this morning, it feels pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's comfortable. It's not cool by any stretch, but it's not bad. But there's no air moving at all. The air is almost dead still this morning. There's no breeze, and it's really good to sit still, and it's just a sweat fest. I was going to take the Zuma this morning, ride Neil's Zuma again. I've only had it out on, what, 3 little commutes. One long one, going all the way to Gallery area, wherever it was that I went. But the other ones have just been little short jaunts around, and I didn't even record those. But I need to ride that thing around, form an opinion on that, and do a couple of dedicated review videos. That's why Neil brought it to me, is to do reviews on it and give my take. So I'll do that. These longer highway commutes, just not suitable for some of the small scoots. I mean, I can take the access roads, but it takes me well over an hour to do what it takes me an hour to do what can be done in 20 minutes. So come on, people, break it up. Staring at each other's door handles. That's one of my huge pet peeves about traffic in general. Why would you intentionally ride or drive right next to someone? You can see that that's going to be a traffic problem, I hope, because if they need to swerve or evade, you're door handle to door handle with them. There's nowhere for either of you to go. So don't do that. You know, you just break it up. You move along. You get out of the lane that you're in, get in front of them or get behind them if you like the speed that they're running. Keep going, people. They've got customers. Make the decision, dude. Thank you. Hey, it's a bread box on wheels. That's got some aerodynamics, doesn't it? Cinder block on wheels. Good stuff. Oh, I thought that guy was stalled. He was just sleeping. I was going to say, man, stalling out in lane 5 in this kind of traffic. Ooh, bad day, bad day. Quite the queue this morning. All right. I guess I'll cut the line too. People are a little too relaxed. Somebody go. Who cares? Just go. Just go. Stick it in there. Just go. Just go. You're gonna sit there all day, I can tell. And I ain't gonna wait. Somebody's smoking pot right up here in front of me. Woo! Get a contact high behind these cars. Somebody is Bob Marleying it on the way to work today. Look. I'd still, you know, I ponder on that. I can almost understand how alcoholics, people that drink and drive, feel like they can get away with it in a car because there's no obvious odor to it, at least until you breathe on them. But with marijuana, pot, you can smell it. You can smell it outside the car, you can smell it inside the car, you can smell it on the person's clothes. They don't even have to breathe on you. They can hold their breath and you can still know that they're baked. So these people that are just token up in their cars on the way to work in the mornings or the way home or whatever, I guess they just, you know, well, one, obviously they just don't give a shit. Two, they must be very, very lucky in that they never get pulled over, because you get pulled over and it's just obvious. As soon as that window rolls down, it's Cheech and Chong's kid. Come on. I have nothing against it, you know. People want to do edibles or smoke pot or whatever. Hey, do it. I don't care. I'm no prude. But it's a substance, you know, and it's a recreational item. You should do that at home when you're not operating machinery or doing anything with dangerous kinetics involved. High speeds, highway. Really dark over here. It's like rain, but no rain in the forecast today. Let's see if the weathermen are correct and get to claim accuracy today or not. It's the only job in the world you can be wrong like 90% of the time, right? Well, besides government, but yeah. Well, I've arrived. I will catch you all hopefully for the afternoon commute. There's Bill, our other buddy. All right, welcome back to the evening, everybody. It's about 8 p.m., give or take a few minutes. Long, busy, productive day. I'm headed back into the sunset. It's a really gorgeous sunset tonight. Scattered light clouds, so we're getting a lot of pastel colors behind me there, and I'll be headed into it momentitos, but maybe not before it gets too dark, because I've got to go all the way up to I-10. So we'll see. Anyway, got a lot done today. It was a pretty productive day. Feels good. It's always nice when you can start the day with a plan in mind, and it goes pretty much according to plan. And I would say today actually went better than planned as far as the amount of stuff that I got accomplished, and work lineups, you know, project lineups for this long-term customer, trying to get some more stuff rolling for them that we've discussed in the past, and it was met with approval today, and not just approval, but eager anticipation, so that's great. Some network expansions and upgrades and whatnot. They've got a pretty significant Hyper-V infrastructure as far as their virtualized workloads. Not all that many machines, but a lot of resource there, and they've needed a centralized storage solution for a while. Need a NAS or a SAN to give them some better flexibility on the workloads and disaster recovery and portability, etc., etc. Hey, another biker. All right. And I kind of explained the merits of getting out of the shared nothing storage paradigm to a SAN, and they're 100% on board with it. So I'm going to try to get some quotes rolling on that tomorrow, and maybe we'll make some project decisions on that early next week and get some hardware ordered. And you know, of course, I make my living on setting up those infrastructures on the labor side of it. I don't make money on hardware, not much anyway, barely enough to handle my time trying to spec it out. But it's always good to find solutions for people that need it, and will help their business and bottom line. I'm vendor and hardware agnostic. I don't care as long as it meets the need and helps to accomplish the goal. I found a few good vendors over the years that I tend to use and reuse for hardware supply and network and stuff like that, and they take care of me and my customers, so I make sure I send the money their way. Gonna stop, dickhead. I try to go with a lot of certified refurbished equipment if I can find it, because usually that's the best bang for the buck, and a lot of the vendors that I use offer lifetime warranty on their hardware. So it might be a little more expensive than just going to eBay or, you know, straight off the web to a lot of the refurbishers out there. But when you consider, if you're only paying 20% more, even 30% more than the lowest bottom dollar, but you're getting a lifetime warranty with it, oh yeah, there's a lot to be said for that, because you're not worrying about, is that thing going to fail 12 months down the line or 18 months down the line. If it does, then the customer has to rebuy that hardware, and now I look like an asshole because I recommended it, you know, kind of stuff. So a lifetime warranty, there's a lot to be said for that. You never recoup lost money on labor, you know, from a customer perspective if hardware fails, but at least if you're not taking that hardware hickey at the same time, it's not so bad. And you can buy new hardware through, you know, Cisco and Dell and all the manufacturers out there, but a lot of that stuff only comes with a 90-day warranty or a 1-year warranty or something like that. And if you want to up the warranty to 2 years or 3 years or something like that, especially with advanced replacement or next business day replacement, you're looking at the cost of that equipment again in those warranty costs. So, you know, you get a $10,000 server, and now suddenly that server is $20,000 because you got that 3-year or 5-year NBD warranty on it. So yeah, that's not cool. Advanced replacement warranties are really good to have in the middle market or enterprise space, because you don't have to wait for the replacement hardware to show up. You just tell them you've got an RMA issue. In most cases, they take your word for it. They don't even run you through tech support. You know, okay, well, do this or do this, and, you know, run you through pulling logs and scripts and all that kind of stuff. They'll just go, okay, no problem, and they hotfoot another replacement out to you right away. And then you send the defective unit to them within 30 days, and you don't get billed for it, but they just let you go. You know, they get you on your way, and you're done. It's fantastic. Don't fall in the sand and the gravel. I saw a bike lucid on this the other day. Laid it down right there. I was coming through here just after him, and he had laid it down. I didn't have my camera running. That had to suck. I was on a Harley. Not the greatest of traction or maneuverability, but man, he laid it down. Just hit that gravel and that soft spot, and it slipped out from under him. Hey, sidecar. A lot of bikes out tonight. Probably a Ural. Couldn't get close enough to see what it was. Yeah, I think I missed most of the sunset. It's too far down behind the cloud bank now to see it. It was really pretty a few minutes ago, 15 or 20 minutes ago. It's just pastel blues and pinks everywhere. Okay, well, home again. Thanks for tagging along if you've made it this far. And do a little bit of work out here on the patio and clean up my crap. Put it inside before the rain comes tomorrow. Those boxes right there and a couple of other items that are a little bit water sensitive need to go inside the garage and crowd my workspace around the Mazda. I'll catch y'all later.